So today we will go ahead with our advanced production planning session number 2, where we will try to cover the data footprint reduction part, which we in our last session we left there, and then we will go ahead with the interface, Fiori interface, okay, and the Fiori architecture, also some basic functionalities about the Fiori and all, okay. So before going ahead, we will quickly recap our last session. In our last session, what we discussed, we actually, in our last session, we started with very basics about SAP generationship. That is how SAP started journey in 1970 and it moved to till S/4HANA. That's what we already discussed in our basic training also. And then we also discussed the same thing like when SAP HANA as a database came in 2010, then in 2010 to 2015, how SAP, product journey was there. When SAP 1511 first SAP S/4HANA product came in the market. Before that, SAP worked on the database and also it's launched some BW powered by HANA or sidecar or suit on HANA. That things also we discussed in the last session. And then we basically discuss about the SAP S/4HANA database part, okay, and where we took one use case, we discuss the requirement of the S/4HANA database with one use case where we discuss like there is, let's say, one customer who is sitting in USA and the product which is supposed to be manufactured in China. So when the customer is coming with a sales order, customer to order, make to order, sales order in the system, he used to punch the sales order, and then let's say the requirement came at 6 o'clock in the early morning. To transfer the requirement to the respective distribution center and the warehouse, it may take sometimes more than a day time because of the system incapability or because of the database incapability. We used to run our MRP run in the night time, right? So although user is coming with the requirement at 6 o'clock in the morning, the actual requirement transfer will happen. The actual requirement transfer will happen in the night time at 12 o'clock, and ultimately we are supposed to losing some time over there. The same way, if we discuss like if USA and China are working on the same instant, that's fine. But sometimes we used to have a different regions, right? In that case, we might have a separate system in China. That time we used to, do interface between these two systems, and to transfer the requirement again we need to run the MRP separately in the China with some background jobs or something, right? So ultimately it again reduce the time, or it again you get more time to transfer the requirement to the actual manufacturing plant, and then actual manufacturing will happen and finally it will delivered back to the customer. So ultimately in whole process chain we will come to know around 2 days we are actually losing behind running the MRP and transfer the requirement. Although the logistically it is quite possible to supply the material from China B plant till customer is possible, but from the system standpoint, if we are looking, we are ultimately losing 2 more days over here, and that is only because of our system incapability or the database incapability. And that's why actually SAP thought to work on the database to improve the system capability by improving the database. So that is why SAP thought earlier to move do the changes in the database with respect to our traditional database to improve the performance basically. So to understand that, we take an example. First, we discuss about our SAP ECC traditional database, which is actually having 3 layers. One is presentation layer, second one is application layer, and third one is the database layer. The presentation layer is nothing but it's a GUI screen where actually user playing different transactions, and there is an application layer which is actually having the ABAP dispatchers or the ABAP logics or work processes or different kind of business logic has been written in the application layer, and that will be integrated with your database layer with the help of file systems, file input output system. And in the backend we do have a mechanical rotating disk and drum device where actually our data has been stored. So when user is coming with command or with one query with through GUI screen, it goes to the file system, and then the file system will go to the rotating disk and drum device to extract the data from the database, which extract the data, get back to the application layer, and here in the application layer, as per the business logic written or as per the algorithms written or the calculations written, it gives back the output to the presentation layer. So this is the main chunk where actually system has lower the performance while extracting the data from the database with the help of this mechanical rotating disk and drum device. And that is where SAP thought to do the improvement in the database by replacing this disk and drum device, a mechanical device, so that our performance, system performance will get improved. But ultimately, for that, initially SAP thought to go ahead with in-memory database that is already available in the market since very long. Okay, and SAP thought to go ahead with that kind of in-memory database, which is actually where the data is stored in the capacitors and transistors, so in the form of charge. So that will give the very quick calculation or quick response to the query whatever coming from the application layer within a second, fraction of second is able to give the reporting. It's a very high performance database, but ultimately there is a failover issue if the charge or if the power get off, we might get lost all the data which is stored in the in-memory database. That was the problem. To overcome this, SAP came up with the solution, which is the combination of in-memory database as well as our traditional database, that is your mechanical disk and drum device. And that is nothing but your HANA data appliance system, which is combination of in-memory database system as well as the traditional database system. And to get the data secure, SAP came up with one to save point functionality. When data is saved in the database, in memory database, after 10 around 10 minutes of time, that save point will get activated, and to get the secure data, the data will be again get back stored to the traditional database. That is nothing but my persistent layer. Your persistent layer data will get saved, and within, let's say, within these 10 points, if may get lost or something, that kind of things happen, we used to have a solid state drive, that is flash drive SAP launch within the database, which actually take cares for that 10 minutes. Within this, let's say 10 minutes, if power get fail, we will be able to retrieve the data with the help of this SSD. So that's how SAP combine the in-memory database as well as your traditional persistent layer database into one database, and that is nothing but our HANA database. Now here the failover issue has also get off, as well as our response time back to the application layer is now very fast because of the in-memory database. So that's what we discuss in the S4 HANA database at a very high level. And then we moved ahead with one of the concept of the temperature layer, how this data is actually stored within the database, HANA database. Basically, we discuss where within the HANA database, we do have two kind of layers. One is hot layer and one is warm layer. Hot layer is nothing but our in-memory database, and the warm layer is nothing but our traditional database, that is my persistent layer, right? And whenever data is getting saved in the in-memory database, whatever the user giving as a write command or read command to the database, it will always be go through the in-memory database. Hence, it will get very high performance when it is retrieving the data back. And also we discussed like within the database, actually in the hot layer, we always used to have some extra space, because now since SAP came up with this HANA database model with in-memory database system, there are many calculations and logics are also running within the in-memory database. So for on the fly calculation, in memory database needs some free space. And to achieve this free space, what our database consultant used to do, he used to push down the data to the persistent layer, or he used to push down the old data or not really use or not continuously use data back to the persistent layer, so that it will get extra space, free space available within the in-memory database, which help us to do the fast calculation or on the fly calculation, right? So that's what also we discuss here. Some data table information can be saved 50%, like if we do have a very old data, like data available from 2016 to 18, we can push down to data which is available whenever there is a read command, or most commonly used data will always be available in the in-memory database, which will help back, help back to the application layer with the quick response. Also, we saw like within this database, let's say if user is running the command and the data is available in the persistent layer, now that S4 HANA database has a inherent capability immediately to pull up that data to the in-memory database layer, right, at a hot layer, and do the calculation and give back information to the application layer. So that is one of the technology or one of the concept that we discussed to how data is actually saved in the different layers within the S/4HANA database. After that, we actually started discussing about the data footprint reduction. And first we discussed like why that kind of data footprint reduction is required when we are moving from SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. So we know like there, our data is continuously keep on increasing, as well as the in-memory database is too costly, and to simplify the data structure or increase the performance, system performance, or remove the redundant data. There are so much redundant data available in the system. To remove it, we need to do that kind of data footprint reduction. And then we slowly started discussion how we are doing this. SAP was able to achieve this data footprint reduction with one by one topics. First, we discussed like SAP was able to reduce the data from 593 traditional database, 593 GB to 8.4 GB. So this is a massive data footprint reduction, which ultimately improves the system performance. So first, we were discussing how SAP actually able to do the data footprint reduction from 593 to 118. That is our HANA database. So basically, if we are talking about the first step or first waterfall, it is nothing but the only database. And when we are going to the second waterfall, it is nothing but your HANA, SAP S4 HANA product itself. So if you go back to the journey, then it will be, clearly understanding this is HANA database. This is your first waterfall. And where we were, many companies were working with sidecar scenarios or suit on HANA kind of scenarios. But from 2014 onwards, SAP came up with, or actually SAP came up with a separate product as SAP S4 HANA database in 2015, 1511. So in 1511, my second waterfall will start. Okay, so if we go back here, so this second waterfall is nothing but 1511. That means actually S4 HANA product. Okay, so yeah, so this is nothing but S4 HANA, that is 1511 and onwards. And this is nothing but my suite on HANA, or before that, SAP just came up with a HANA database. And this is my ECC. So that's how we will we were discussing how SAP was able to achieve this kind of data footprint reduction one by one. Okay, the first thing is, that's what we discuss without first waterfall, how SAP able to reduce the data footprint 5 times, 593 GB to 118 GB, with the help of three different things. One is the data compression, second one is the column store, and third one is any attribute to use as a index. So this data compression is a very common, and there are different techniques to save the data with the compression things. That is more technical, and this is basically how to save the data in the database. But this is what now we are supposed to discuss: column and store, column wise data storing concept, and also to understand the inverted index. This is important. So these are the interlinked together. Then we will come to know how SAP is able to reduce the data 5 times. Okay, so we are supposed to move and discuss about the column and row data structure now in the today's session, but I will quickly take a pause here to understand. Let me know if you have any kind of issues on our last session, or what we discussed in our last session. If anything, you can unmute and you can ask your question before moving ahead with the next topic.
No questions.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so now quickly we will move ahead with our next topic, how actually the column and row wise data structure is there, and how it will actually help to reduce the data footprint. Okay, to understand, first we will go ahead with the traditional database, that is row data structure, where the data is stored in the table in the form of different rows, and then we will try to understand what is the column data structure. Okay, so I'll put it here, column data structure, and this is, then we will go and try to discuss about inverted index. Oh, sorry, I'll put it here, inverted index, so that inverted index. So what we will do, we will take an example of one of the table. Okay, so that 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and I will try to create one table here, and to make it an understanding. Okay, just a minute, and also try to make it a little bit small. Okay, so let's say this is one of the table. Okay, this is standard SAP table. Okay, and let's take an example. This table is our production order information table, like AUFK or AUFM. So let's say the table, how the data is stored in the table. There is a production order. Okay, then I will make it little large. Okay, production order, then material, then order type. Okay, and then let's say order quantity. Okay, that's more than enough, I guess. I should not use this. Okay, and in this table, data is stored in that fashion. I'll take an example with one of a couple of orders, so that we will be able to understand how it is actually. So order number 1 is there, 10001. Okay, there is order number 1000002. Okay, there is order number 1000003. Maybe there is one order 100004. Okay, so that's how. Oh, sorry, 1004. And let's say this order number 1 is for material number ABC. Okay, ABC. This order is for material XYZ. Okay, and this order number is again ABC. This order is again for XYZ, let's say. Okay, the order type, let's say this is PP01, this is PP02, then maybe this is again a PP01. Okay, and let's say this is a PP02 only, because same material, PP01. So this could be the PP01, right? And let's say this is again a PP02. Okay, and the order quantity for this is, let's say, 100. Order quantity for this is, let's say, 200. Order quantity for this is 300. Order quantity of this is, let's say, 400. So this is our traditional data, just one table. I just put it here. Now in the traditional database, or in the row structure database, the data in the backend is stored in the sequential manner. Okay, data is stored in sequential manner. Means the data above table data will be saved in this fashion: 10001, then ABC, then PP01, then 100, then 10002, XYZ, okay, then PP02, 200, and then again 10003, ABC, PP01, 300. In that fashion, again 10004, then XYZ, PP02, 400. That kind of fashion, or in this kind of sequential manner, data will get stored. Now, okay. Now, if we are trying to query the data, and we are asking the question, or we putting the command for this database, what is the let's say, what is the total production, okay, total production quantity for ABC? If that is the question, or that is the command we are putting to the database, how it will actually works? It start reading the data in the sequential manner, okay, and like first it will read this, like that. So it will found, okay, for ABC 100, plus it will again go, again it will found, okay, for ABC there is 300. So the total quantity is 100 plus 300, right, equal to 400. That's how it get the data output from the system. But now if you just imagine, if I'm just given here an example of only 5 records, okay, but in one table there will be millions of records available, right, for the ABC material with different orders and different quantity. In that time also, it will go in the backend and try to retrieve or extract the data by reading each and everything in the sequential manner, collecting the data from the database, from your disk and drum device. That's what we discuss. Get back to the application layer, do the calculation, and give the correct output back. That's how our traditional database, or that's how our raw data structure works. Okay, and that is why it take more time, or the response time is much bigger or much higher as compared to our S4 HANA database. Now we will go ahead and we'll discuss about the HANA database, or the column data structure, what HANA database propose, how actually it save in the system, and how it will actually help us to reduce the data footprint. And this is why our current database system, that is having the traditional database, where we used to run our MRP in the night time. You just take an example what actually happens when we are running the running the MRP. It checks the net requirement calculation. First it check the planning file entries, then it will do the net requirement calculation. It will go each and every table, try to read the current available quantity. Then again it will go to the different table, check the sales order, open receipt, production order, open production orders, do the net requirement calculation, right? And then finally it goes and again explore the bill of material with the low level coding. Again it will do the same kind of thing for the multi-level component or semi-finish raw materials level. And finally it come up with the shortages or the procurement proposals for the raw material, create purchase requisition, and for the finished material create the purchase production orders. So to do that, within the MRP, when we are running MRP, system used to go into different tables and try to read the data in that fashion. And that is why it takes a very huge time, huge response time, to get the output back. Okay. Now, in the column wise structure, what SAP actually in our database, how actually it happens, let's discuss on that. So what I'll do, I will copy the same table from here to here. Okay, and we'll see how actually it works in the column structure. So when the data is stored in the column wise structure, or when the data is stored in the column structure, it will not store in the sequential manner. Okay, it will be Actually, when the data is stored in the column structure, I'll put it here first. Okay. So first thing, the data structure, okay, data structure saves only unique values. Okay, I'll come back to the unique values one by one, and then we will see how it will be work or like. First thing, the data will be saved. I mean, the data structure saves only unique value. Means if ABC material is saved here in somewhere, no need to save here, right? So that's what the column structure or this database work. Now XYZ is already saved there, so no need to save this again. PP01 is already saved, right? No need to save it again here. Or PP02 is somewhere we have already mentioned in the table, so no need to save it here. So the only it will be saved only unique values, first thing. Okay. Then the question will come like, if that is the case, how the interlinkage will happen between the data? Order one ABC PP0 and 100 quantity fine, but order 3 now we are not saving any ABC material here or PP01 again back here. Then how the things or the interlinkage will be happen? So in this case, in the column wise data structure, data will be linked with the concept of inverted index. What is that now? So here what happen, when data will be get saved in the table, it will create some pseudo number. Okay, I'll put it here, and then we will see how the data will be saved. System will, create pseudo numbers, okay, for each of the record. Example, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. Also it create, I'll put here, also it creates record ID. Example, R1, R2, R3, and so on. Okay. Now in this case, what will happen, when the data will be stored in the table, it will be saved in that fashion. Let's say for this production order number 1, this is the record 1, right? So it will be saved in this, I mean, it will create one pseudo number as a R1. Okay. And also it will say this is the first order, one pseudo number as a first order. Okay. So what I will do, I will make it little big, and then I'll try to explain. Okay. Here what will it do? It will say this is record R2, and the pseudo number for this is, let's say, 2. I'll put it here 2. Here also the same thing, R3. This is record R3, and it will create one pseudo number of 3. This is record R4. Oh, sorry, R4, and it will create one pseudo number here as a 4. Just a minute. 4. Okay. Here also the same thing. Here is material 1, so it will create one pseudo number 1. Here also PP01, it will create one pseudo number 1. And let's say this is quantity 100, it will create pseudo number 1. Here what will happen? This is second time coming, I mean new material coming, so it will create a pseudo number as a 2 for that XYZ. For PP02 also it will create a 2 for this thing. And this quantity, for quantity, it will create a pseudo number as a 2. Now here for ABC. Now since it's not required, because it's already created there, so pseudo number for this is 1. Although it's not saving, I am just keeping it here for your understanding. For this, pseudo number is again back 1. So no, this is the unique record, it's already saved, right? For XYZ, it will say pseudo number is 2. And for this also, it will create a pseudo number as a 2, correct? And here it will say 3. For this, it will say 4. So that's how when record will be saved, system first create the pseudo number, and how it actually saved. It will be saved in this fashion. I'll put it here little up, okay, and I will copy this table from here. Oh, sorry, to here. Now here it will be saved in this fashion. Actually, data in the table will be saved in this fashion. Okay, I will just remove this, and it will say 01. Just a minute. So R1 and record 1. Then it is saying 01 is the material, and that is interlinked with record R1 and record R3. Correct? Because in the R3 we do have ABC. So it will say, okay, this is the order number. This is the material ABC linked with record number R1 as well as R3. Correct? Again, here the same thing. It will say, okay, PP01 is interlinked with record number R1 and R3. Correct? R3. Here also it will say, okay, this quantity record is interlinked with R1. Okay. Correct. Same way for R2, it will be say like this. This is the material 2 number, that is XYZ. It is interlinked with R2 and R4. Here also it will say the same thing. This record order type is interlinked with R2 and R4. Here also it will say this 2 number quantity, that is 200 could be, but while saving it will say it is interlinked with R2. Okay. Now if you go down here, it will say 3 quantity is interlinked with R3 record, and this quantity is interlinked with R4. So you can see here, so I will just remove these things so that you will understand. Okay. Now here in this case, actually this data, okay, here there is nothing. So ultimately, with the help of this thing, we are able to reduce the footprint here. This is how data will get saved. So ultimately, if you are looking into the table of the raw data structure where we are keeping all the ABC again and again, here we are not saving this data. So ultimately we are able to reduce the footprint within the table. So if you take here, we just take an example of only 4 to 5 production orders and one small table, but in actual, if we do consider any table like MSEG or any AUFK or AFKO table, you will come to know there are thousands and millions of entries sitting in the table, and for only one material there could be only more than thousands of orders sitting, and we are writing the same material code in the same table again and again for each record, right? So let's say for one material I have created 1 million orders, right? So in the table level I'll get a row, 1 million row with 1 million production order number, again 1 million times the same material number and 1 million times the same order type has been written, right? So it is ultimately increasing the data footprint. So in this fashion, if we go, right, in this fashion, if you will try able to save the data in the system, It will reduce many big data footprint if you compare with any standard table. That's how it actually saved in the column wise data structure. Now let's go and ask the same question back to the this database. If you are asking the same question, what is the quantity for production order quantity for ABC? Now how it will work? It will go and check only one column. So the separate, this column will be work as a separate index for me, because in each column I do have a very big information or very much information. I just gave here one example, that's how it is saved. But in actual, in the technical language, if you go, it will be typically different. So each column will work here as a index, and this column will provide me all the information. It will say, okay, quantity column R1 1. What is R1? R1 is this, and this is interlinked with material 1. Material 1 is nothing but ABC. So this quantity 1 is related to ABC. Again, it will go down and it will try to see, okay, this quantity 3 quantity, that is R3. So if you go here back and try to check the material, so R1 and R3, correct? These are the for material ABC. So R1 and R3, these are the material for ABC. So R1 quantity and R3 quantity is the quantity nothing but total quantity of ABC. So it will go and with the help of only this column sorting and doing the calculation with only this column, it will come back and give me on the fly calculation saying, okay, the total quantity is 3 plus 1, that is nothing but 100 plus 300 equal to 400. And that's how system will be able to give, or will be able to get the information. Just a minute, I will put this arrow here, same information very quickly. So that is how the column and row wise data structure will be able to reduce the data footprint at a very huge level, as well as it will give us on the fly calculation with the help of inverted index. That means each column will work as a separate index and it will try to give us the information. Now if you see and try to compare this thing with our old traditional database, in each table, for each table we used to create a separate indexing table, correct? And we, in our last session, we discussed why indexing is required: to search data faster, right? Now here, we no need to create a separate indexing table on that table, first thing. Second thing, the search will be very fast with the help of inverted index, because each column is working for me as an index here. So that's how we will be able to reduce the data footprint by using column data structure, by saving the same unique material only once, as well as reducing the as well as removing the index on the table. Guys, I will take a quick pause here. If you have any kind of question, or if you are able to understand the things what I'm trying to explain you, I just want to know. This little little bit complicated to understand, but and I just tried to explain you how it's actually, but if you are looking into any table, you will always see the row wise structure and the column will be always filled with this. But in the back end, it will be saved, the data will be saved in this fashion in the SAP S/4HANA database. Any questions?
Yeah, Deepak, this is Anil.
Yeah, Anil, go ahead.
Yeah, in the inverted index table, you are removing actual values. Actual values are appended in the front and back, or how the actual data structure in every row or field there?
Yeah, that is actually with your pseudo number. So in the back end, always when we are saving anything in the database, it's not like the whole material number. It will be always like 1001010, that kind of the technical things, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this will be always in that fashion. So the thing here, in the front end, you will always see the material number and these things in the same fashion what you see here in the row structure or whatever we discussed earlier. But in the back end, in the database, it will be tried to save with the pseudo numbers. Okay, instead of giving whole number. And this pseudo number is actually required to do the interlinkage between the data. If we are not having that pseudo number, then ultimately we need to save this and this thing again back in the database. Okay, conceptually, if I don't have that kind of numbers, then again I need to save ABC, PP01, PP02 multiple times. So here in the database, what we are using, you are very correct. We are actually removing, or you are removing the real name of the data, that is the product number or material. Instead of that, we are putting some different numbers for that.
Okay, uniqueness I understand,
Yeah.
but when we are talking about the inverted index, how, for example, you gave an example of quantity, right? Now,
Mhm.
how does system know that what is the material and what is the quantity we are talking about in the first row versus all the rows for
Correct, correct.
the column?
Mhm.
And that means, is it reading from some other table or in the same
No,
table in
in
the
the
pseudo
same
format? It is
table. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
So you are very correct. See, here what I seen said, like these are the unique number, or the separate 1 2 3, because quantity column is something different. Okay, or the production order number is 1 2 3 4. Okay, but if
Hmm.
if you see here, this quantity is related or linked to the record number 1. First thing, if I go back and see what is the record number 1, record number 1 is this order. Record number 1 is again interlinked with one material, that is nothing but ABC. Correct. Also,
Mhm.
the same ABC is interlinked with record number 3. So this record number 3 is nothing but this order, and for record number 3, this is the quantity. So ultimately, what I in this structure, what I am trying to explain, I am trying to get all the information. Okay, all the information in this table except putting anything here.
No, no, that is understood.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to understand how the system will read. Because, for
yeah, yeah.
example,
Hmm.
if you take the first row, we have material, and two materials have got the same material has got in two
One
orders.
record. Yeah.
Yeah, two
Mhm.
orders, and you are listing all the two orders in the first row. So that system knows that, okay, two orders have
Are
got this
linked with this
material,
material.
and
Correct.
we need to read that R1 and R3 record to
Mhm.
total up the quantity. Correct?
Correct.
So
Correct.
now, if I have million records, for example, for the same
Hmm.
material on different orders, million
Hmm.
orders have got the
Yeah.
same material. So
Yeah.
that first row will have a million records of
Yes.
R1, R2, or like that.
Correct. 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 And that is nothing but my inverted index. Each column, each field is giving me a more big information. So that's why when we are trying to query the record, instead of going here and there, we can directly go and query the specific column where we will be able to get all the information. So earlier in this traditional database, we used to read all the table. Here, I no need to read all the table basically. Here, I
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
that
read.
difference is
Yeah,
known.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
So this is how actually see. I just try to understand this concept from first, and I just try to explain. Technically, if you are going in more detail, that could be a big things inside this kind of data structure. So
Yeah.
as a functional consultant, even we no need to more worry on that part. But
Yeah.
how actually, yeah, SAP try to do the data footprint reduction with the help of column wise data structure. Because as a functional consultant, personally, when I started looking into SAP S/4HANA, I was actually thinking, what is that column structure and what is that row structure? I was very keen to understand what is that actually. Okay, or functionally how it should be. What could be the difference? So I just try to understand these things, and I'm again explaining the same thing to you back. Technically, there will be more things inside it, the pseudo number, how it will be get calculated, or in which format it will get saved in the backend. That will be something different. But
Yeah.
yeah, for that we may need to get a help from technical people or
Yeah. Yeah.
database
That's more
consultant. Yeah,
towards database structure and
correct,
all.
correct, correct, correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So what we discuss. Okay, we discuss three things, and with the help of these three things, this is at a very high level, guys. There will be many more things inside, but that's how SAP S/4HANA database try to reduce the 5 times data with only first waterfall, what we were talking about, without removing any data. Especially I mentioned here without removing, because if you go to the SAP S/4HANA, that thing will come in a picture, because in SAP S/4HANA we were actually removing the redundant data and table, that we will discuss in the next slide. But without removing any data, without removing any table, we will be able to reduce the footprint from 5 times, from 600 to 120. Now we will discuss about the second waterfall. Okay, sorry. So the second waterfall is this one. And this is again, I'm just going back here to, just make you understand. Yeah, we are here. So before S4 HANA came, this is suit on HANA, where we used to use our own any database with SLT, system landscape transformation. We used to transfer this data to HANA database, and from HANA database we try to get the reporting. So this is before 2014 or before 2015. Till time our database is not a data, although it's a database is HANA. Our product was not SAP S4 HANA. The product was something simple finance or some BW on HANA or this thing, where we used to use sidecar scenario or suite on HANA. But in 2015, when SAP came up with a separate product as a SAP S4 HANA, that means SAP tried to replace all the old database, traditional database, with HANA database, with all the finance simplifications as well as logistics simplification. And what is that? That is my third waterfall, this one. So what SAP did here, that day we discussed one case study about the MARD table, okay, and we will try to continue discussing with the same one, okay. So if you see here, in the business suite or suite on HANA or in our ECC, there were so many tables available. If you go into inventory, these are the more common table which we use: MARD, MARC, and so many tables, MKP, MSEC, so many tables available. Our SAP database or our traditional database, we try to create so many different tables, and we try to save the same data again and again in the same table. And that is only because the same thing what we discuss in MSEC table, I am having millions of entry, and if I am asking the question to the MSEC table, what is my current stock, we need to get all the entries back from the MSEC table, do the calculation, find out the stock, and come back with this thing, right? So what SAP did, with the help of this information, SAP created some separate table as a MARD table where stock information is saved. So whenever we are asking the question for the stock, it will go and query this table and get out. Okay, so this is only happen because my data footprint was too big, system was having too much low performance, right? And that is the reason that was not possible to directly go and query MSEC table, right? And our data is continuously increasing, right? That's what we discussed earlier, continuously increasing in the day, year and year. So it is very hard to do this. So when SAP S4 HANA launched this product, that time SAP S4HANA, as we discussed, it is possible to reduce the data footprint. Here, when it was launching the S4HANA product, what SAP did, SAP tried to remove the data from the table, and it's create only one single source of truth as a MATDoc or MATDoc extract, or there was one table in finance that is ACDoca, right? So no need to save the data in this table. That's what SAP thought, and it created only one table where all the information. This is nothing but your single source of truth. We call it as a single source of truth. All information is available now in the MATDoc. So whenever any information required, I can come here, query the table, and get the information. I no need to store the data in MARD pack. So ultimately, what happened? There are so many tables available in the database. Now these tables are not available, or now the data is not available in this table. Only the data is available in this table. So ultimately, here again, the third waterfall, what we were discussing, that is possible where, just a minute, here in S4 HANA 1511, okay, again from 118 to 42, this many reduction happen because we remove so many tables. We remove the data from so many tables. Now the question came here, if SAP has removed the table, what we call as a MARD, but still if I'm going into the S4 HANA system and trying to query this table, I can see this table available. So table is available, but data is not available in the table. Okay, so whenever I'm going and doing SE, let's say 16N and MARD table, and we will execute, I'll go into the system and try to show you. Data will show you there, but data is not available in the table. Data is only available here. And on top of that, SAP has created CDS view. So whenever we are querying this MARD table, respective CDS view get activated, data will get fetched from the mat.table, since Very small data is available there now as per the reduction strategy what we are discussing. On the fly, it's able to give me the correct data back, and that will get populate here in the table. And that is why now in many in the development also, it's recommended to use the CDS view and try to directly link with this table. But still, when we are writing the functional specification as a functional consultant, we used to have work with this table. So we can give the info this table information. The ABAP consultant can write the code on this table only, but in the backend, CDS views are already there, so that is automatically get activate and get the data from single source of truth only. Now the thing here is, when we are saying we are writing the functional specification on my old database, right? And there are CDS view, then why we are not writing the directly FS with MATDoc table instead of going again the back table? Because right now also we are not that much matured with the SAP S/4HANA system. Even I personally, when used to write the functional specifications, I personally used to use only this table. But now ABAP on HANA or the ABAP consultant, these are too much matured and they are already working on HANA. They directly work on the CDS views and try to get the data if they know. Otherwise, they can always refer this table. There are always in the backend CDS views activated, and it will get the data from the single source of truth, that is MATDoc table. I'm just talking about the MATDoc because we are more familiar with this table. The same thing is with SEDOCA, or same thing with sales tables also. There are very limited table available in the sales. Earlier there were so many tables. Okay, so that's how it works now. uh, with the S/4HANA, we are able to remove the so many tables, and ultimately it helps us to reduce the data footprint from 118 to now 442.4. We were talking about the MARD table. Now the data is not available in the MARD table, but still we will be able to get the data in MARD table in the ABAP coding. Okay, so that's what we were discussing. Any questions on that? I'm trying to log into system meanwhile. Okay, so we were discussing, let's say.
So it means that if we have our older reports already coded with the legacy tables, so that will work without any modification.
No, when we are doing the conversion from any ECC to SAP S/4HANA, we need to do the system readiness check. Okay, and also we need to do the modifications with the new data structure. So if we are working on any conversion project, it doesn't mean whatever the Z reports or whatever the Z transaction that you have created will work exactly this in SAP S/4HANA. We need to do the modification. The team need to find out what are the things that they need to do it there. But yes, the table, that information, that's what we were talking about, like SE16N. Okay, MARD table. Now, as we discuss in S/4HANA, now this is S/4HANA 2020 system. Okay, so the table is available, but there is no data. So if I could have the access of SAP Studio, I don't know whether I'm having that access. I could show you the data is available in, the data is not available in MARD table. So if I'm logging into HANA Studio, let me check if HANA Studio is off, so that I can easily show you here. SAP, just I'm going back here. Okay, in SAP, I'm calling MARD table for my plant TJ03. Okay, so when I'm calling with the help of CDS view, it can go and it is showing me the data. Correct, here it's populating the data, but actually there is no data available in this table. Data is available in only single source of truth, from where with the help of CDS view it is coming here. But I can show you. Okay, this is the HANA Studio, but unfortunately we don't have system added here. If we could have, I could show you the same table, MARD table in HANA, where data is not there. anyway, when I'll try, if you will get that access, we will try to see it. But this is the concept. Like now, these tables, although these tables are there, our logic will be work definitely. Okay, with some of the modifications based on HANA data structure. ABAP has to do it. Our all the logics which has been written with MARD table and old table, that will definitely work, because ultimately in the backend the CDS views are activated and it will get the data from the MSEG and MADDoc table. Okay. Okay, so I'm going one more step ahead with one other waterfall, and that is last one. But we were talking, sorry, that is nothing but this one. Actual versus historical. I guess that day we discussed with the help of hot layer or warm layer. What we used to do, we used to push down the data which is older than or which is not really required to the warm layer. So ultimately, now if in the in-memory database, the total data is available instead of 593 GB. Now it's only 8.4 GB, right? And hence it will give me a very good performance as compared to SAP ECC. It has a very huge, difference in the performance on the file calculation. It's very fast as compared to our traditional database. So that's how SAP able to, reduce the data footprint in SAP S/4HANA. There is one more thing I would like to explain, the way the main and delta table storage, okay, before moving ahead. So normally what happened, we saw like majorly the data compression, okay, majorly, I will put it here, 90% of the data compression happens at main table level. So we discussed like there is a data compression logic. One field can be saved in different form or some. We discuss with pseudo numbers, and if there is a big value, it can be saved in a different pattern, right? So the 90% of that things will be happen at a main table level. So within the table in SAP S/4HANA, I will put it here like this. Okay, let's say this is the S/4HANA table. Okay, and yeah, this is the S/4HANA table. Within the table, there are two things in between. One is the main table and one is the delta table. So as we saw here, majorly the data compression is happening at the main table level. Then whenever we are writing anything to the table, whenever I'm just creating one production order and saving it, that time what will happen, the data will be get saved in the table. But since it is saved with the data compression and all these logics, it may slow down the performance. It may slow down your write performance, correct? So that is why in S/4HANA, what happened within the table, they created two levels. One is called delta table. Okay, these are the part of same table, guys. Okay, but how they actually work, I'll just try to explain. And this is called as a main table. Okay, now sorry, let's say there is one write command coming. Okay, WRITE. Okay, there is write command by user. I'll put it like this. Write command by user, or user is creating one order. So what will happen? The data first will get saved in the delta part. Okay. Now here I'm saying the compression. Now when data is getting saved in the table at an initial level, that compression and these things are not happening. Okay. After some time, the compression to because when we are writing the data in the main table with the compression, it may slow down the performance. That's the reason initially it will get saved here in the delta part, and then with the compression logic and everything, it will get saved to your main part or the main table. So hence what will happen whenever we are writing the data to the table, or whenever we are creating any transaction to the table, it will not reduce the performance, or it will not slow down the performance. But whenever there is a read command by user, okay, I'll put here, whenever there is a read command by user, it will be get read from delta as well as from the main table. Because let's say before saving it to the main table, we are just querying the table for the COIS report to check the order. So that time maybe data is available in the upper portion of the table, right, in the delta. So that time, so this is the inherent capability of the table or the database, that we can read the data from. This is part of only one table, okay? This is not a separate table, but within the table there are two portions. That's what we are saying. So we can say here the write while writing data, it may reduce performance, okay? Hence always write at delta part of the table. So that's how it actually help us to read and write performance in the storage. Okay, now guys, we will move ahead. We are done with the basic concept of the data footprint reduction and basic concept of the SAP S/4HANA database. I am also not that much aware, okay, but I try to explain how SAP is able to reduce the data footprint from 600 to now 8 GB, and that is why now it's a very powerful engine, or it's very performance very good database, where we can now run our MRP in a daytime as well. Earlier, when it used to take 3 to 4 hours to run one MRP, now it will 10 to 5 minutes. So it is now in the minutes. Hence, it will not impact on day-to-day life of the user, or day-to-day life, day-to-day transactions of the user, and we can run it at any point in time. So that's how put it in front of you. Yeah, Alex, how is the writing to delta saving time? Yeah, so this is not a save point actually. It's not a timings, okay? It's within a second or within the fraction of seconds. What kind of data you are putting in the delta, based on that, how much time it will take a time. Let's say when you are creating the orders, okay, and you do have the same material, already you have created the order. So the same Shuda number now you are supposed to use, or the figure which you are putting, let's say 1 lakh, and now 100000, that is the figure that you are putting there. So there is a data compression logic for that. So based on that, it will take, let's say 1 second or 2 seconds. Sometimes it will take some more time. So it's not fixed time. Even I'm also not sure how much it is the time required to save the data from delta to main table. But to improve the write performance, this is the functionality that SAP used to write that table. That's what I am explaining. Is that okay, Lex? Okay, so we will now quickly move ahead with the Fiori, okay, and then we will start jumping into the system and running our different scenarios. But before going to the Fiori, we need to understand some basic things about the Fiori. So this part is the user interface. In our basic training, we discussed there are 3 kind of user interface available. One is GUI, that is available with SAP ECC, SAP R3, right? Second one is NWVC, and third one is the Fiori. We discuss in very detail in our basic session for the GUI and NWVC. We will quickly recap these things, and then we will move ahead to the Fiori. Like when SAP came up with GUI earlier, it was something, when SAP came as a R2, okay, in 1970s. There were some black screen kind of interface. Then SAP came up with GUI, and still in GUI also there are so many loopholes or disadvantages, we call it as, like user onboarding time. So in any implementation project, to get the GUI access to user is a big task. There are multiple approvals. Then our technical teams or the support team need to go there and install GUIs on his system. Then again, we need to provide him user ID password. After user ID password also, when user trying to log in, he may do something wrong because he's first time accessing the system. And also if he is able to access it, he is not able to do what to do next, because the navigation is very poor in our current GUI system. Like in production, there are so many things down the line, and then he will find material master or BOM or production order creation, these kind of things. So it's basically the transaction based, right? So user need to remind all the transaction. And also we need to give the intensive training to the user to get align with this GUI application and to start working, right? So these are the some different drawbacks. That's what we discussed in our earlier session, in very initial session. Like GUI is a transaction based. There are multiple transactions available. One is create, change, display, that kind of transactions, right? Also, when user used to log in to the GUI screen, it will not say what to do next. System will not guide user what to do next. What he will be a blank always. If he is able to remember the transaction code, then only he will go inside and he will be able to access something. Otherwise he will keep blank. Without training he cannot do anything, right? So also the search functionality, if user want to search something within the SAP, is not that good. Okay, these things are the some problems in the GUI. Also, the main problem is that that is not a web base. Like user has to be with his own system, his own laptop, or some laptop where GUI is installed. Otherwise he cannot go into the system and log into the SAP. So these kind of loopholes are were there, and that is the reason SAP came up with the second interface that is called NWBC, Net Viewer Business Client. Somehow NWBC tried to overcome some of the loopholes which were there in the GUI. Like now is a user web based. In any system he can go and log into the SAP. Also it is a role based. If the user is a, let's say, production planner, he need to see only the PP related applications or PP related transaction codes over there, right? So the whatever authorizations he do have. Now in GUI is not like that. He will be able to see all the navigation, and it next the transaction codes authorization will be blocked with the help of authorization or the security team. But in NWBC that is possible. Like role based transaction codes are there, and also there is a cockpit or dashboard kind of things. If you able to go into the system and see it, you will be able to get his own uh, transaction codes and this thing. But still there are some problems in NWBC. Like the transactions look and feel is same like GUI. The transaction look and feel, like if he is going to create a production order by CO01, whatever we are able to see it in the GUI skin, exactly the same kind of look and feel here in the NWBC. Also, it's not that much mobile friendly. Although we are saying it's a web-based application, and on the web, we can definitely go into the mobile and type that web link and try to log into the system. But it's not a mobile friendly. That means there are so many things like where we need to scroll. When we are working on the laptop or any system, we can simply scroll it by the mouse. But when we are working on the mobile, it's not that easy to scroll it down or something, okay? Or to go by the tab and this thing. So, tabular form or this thing. So this is not a mobile friendly, or even it's not a simplified. And also still there are multiple transactions available because it's a replica of a GUI only with web base. Now to overcome all these loopholes again, SAP came up with the Fiori. This is the third interface, and now and even whatever we are seeing, the new functionality, new features coming in SAP S4 HANA, like in production planning, we do have DDMRP or PMRP, this kind of functionality. Now there are no transaction code available even. So if you want to implement DDMRP in the system, you cannot implement or you cannot use GUI or NWBC to run it. You need to have a Fiori, because whatever additional functionalities are coming. These are coming through Fiori only. So this is the very important thing, or very important interface. Now we are also recommending in our current projects also, we are not even giving the access of GUI to the user. Only Fiori application access we are providing it to them. It's very easy. Basically user can access from any system with the link. First thing is a role base, only specific application he can see it there. Also when he is going to, user is logging into the system on the Fiori, the application itself will be able to, there are so many smart applications coming. Okay, so many, we call it as a smart business applications or analytical applications are there in the SAP Fiori. Let's say there is a purchase planner or the procurement planner guy, okay, who is sitting here, and he want to purchase some material, right? So sometimes he may need to go into the stock, he may need to run MB52 report, he may need to check what is the purchase requisitions are there already created by MRP, and based on that he need to go to the purchase order creation tab and he need to create the purchase order for that in a GUI. But in the Fiori, there are some smart business applications available. Okay, wherever let's say the stock is going down, or wherever there are some open purchase requisitions has been created in the system, or whenever the purchase requisitions are getting delayed. Let's say yesterday's purchase requisitions are still there open. Okay, in the application itself, it will clearly give the information to the user saying, hey, there are 5 purchase requisitions which were supposed to create a PO yesterday only, but it's somehow not created. It will clearly show him in a red color. So basically Fiori application itself, that SAP, the screen itself will guide user what to do when he is logging. That kind of functionality is not available in the GUI, and that is why we call, like now SAP also recommends to go ahead with all the things on a Fiori. Okay, so now we will go ahead and we will try to discuss a little bit about the basics of the Fiori. So basically Fiori, okay, I will put it here. Fiori is nothing but, it's not kind of technology or something. Fiori is the name which is coming from the flower. Okay, so whenever you used to log into the Fiori, you will find out some flower kind of things. Let me show you first, and we will go. Yeah, this kind of flower. So this is the Fiori tab at home I have been installed here. So that kind of picture you can see it here. So Fiori is basically flower in Italian language. Okay, so based on that flower, that Fiori came. Okay, so I will put it here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so basically Fiori is not any technology. We call it as Fiori is just a guideline. Okay, Fiori is just a guideline to develop responsive application. Okay, by using UI5 technology. So Fiori is the guideline and UI5 is the technology on behind that. So Fiori is not a technology. That is the name coming from only a flower. Okay, so the behind Fiori there is a technology called it as a UI5. Okay, so why we used to call it as a guideline separately when we are creating any application in the system. Why we need the guidelines? We do have a technology available. Now I am supposed to create one Fiori application. So why guideline is required is the most important thing. And this is nothing but your user interface and user experience that is related, linked to the user interface and user experience. So basically, if the technology is without guidelines, let's say take an example, UI5, and we don't have any guidelines, and there are 2 ABAPers who are sitting there and they are developing the application for one of the things, let's say to production order report. Okay, so they may create the same application differently by their own thought process, right? So the look and feel of both the applications will be different. So whatever applications are already available in the Fiori, SAP own all the new incoming applications, or whatever the applications we are creating in the Fiori, that should have same look and feel and same harmonized approach. And that is why these guidelines are very, very important. So this is nothing but, I'll put it here. Okay. So this is nothing but Fiori is guidelines plus templates plus some library. So this is the input for any ABAPer while developing any application with the help of UI5. Okay. So that, let's take an example. Just if you are talking about our technology is still open. Let's say we are supposed to create a flat, okay, or build a flat in one building, and we do have some specific space. So if there are different architectures available, they are doing the flat architecture on their own or on their own thought process. Like your entrance will be with a hall, then your kitchen will be attached to your hall, and your bedroom could be attached to your kitchen or something like that way. But some different architecture will come and he will say, okay, entrance should be with hall, kitchen should attach to your bed, and whatever washrooms and these things should be attached to your bed. That's way he will try to develop it. Or let's say you are manufacturing one chair, okay, and if you are asking to design the chair to the different user or different architectures, one could come and he'll create develop a chair with wheels, right, or some footrest, or let's say the chair with some cushion or something. Some other architecture will come and he'll create a chair with some backrest, some different kind of fashion. So the look and feel of each and every chair will be totally different. And that is why SAP intentionally created a Fiori guidelines. Okay, when any Fiori developer is developing any application, it should have a same or unique look and feel. Okay, so as we discussed, Fiori is just a guideline, and behind that we do have UI5 is the technology. Okay, UI5 is the technology. I'll put it here. So basically that UI5 technology is working on different kind of languages. Okay, and these languages are nothing but HTML5, okay, HTML5 language, then Java, JavaScript, then jQuery, JSON query. These kind of languages it could support. CSS. These kind of languages are supported by the user. So with the help of these kind of languages, with the help of this technology, we will be able to develop the Fiori application. So basically, this UI5 technology is nothing but one. This is nothing just a framework. Okay, I'll put it here. If you look here, with the help of these languages, okay, I will, with the help of, oh, sorry. Yeah, with the help of these languages, we will be able to, with help of this technology, we will be able to develop the Fiori application. So basically, the UI5 technology is nothing but is a framework, okay, which where we use different kind of guidelines, templates, and this thing, okay, to develop a different Fiori applications. Okay, I'll put it here. F5 Fiori application. And this Fiori application will be having these are nothing but harmonize application, then user friendly, then can be used on mobile or tab or your system, right? So this kind of, when that application will get developed, okay, so the with the help of guidelines and templates, the developer will be taking care when that application will be used on the mobile, how it will look, and how it will be the user friendly. If user want to scroll it down, he can simply, he should not go to that scrolling tab and manually need to go down, right? He can simply just tab, or just with the touch finger, he can go down and go there. But when the user is working with the laptop or something, he may need to scroll with the mouse. At the same time, when it is accessed on the mobile, what kind of data has to be there? Like, let's say he's creating one production order, but the create, when all the information has been put into that application, save tab is somewhere else, and user need to play something more on the mobile, and then only he will be able to save it. That means that application whatever we have developed is not that user friendly. So that uh, guidelines will help ABAPer or the developer to develop that kind of application. Hence, all kinds of application, okay, all kinds of applications with same kind of user experience. That is the most important thing, and that is why whenever we are developing any application, okay, this kind of things has to be taken care, and that's the reason these guidelines are more important. Now we were talking about the framework, okay, with the help of this UI5 framework or UI5 technology. Developer actually use the different kind of tools to develop the application, and these tools are nothing but, I'll put it here, this is nothing but web IDE, okay, web IDE is used to develop application. And this web IDE application is available in two different versions. One is full stack version. I'll put it here. Guys, this is little technical, but since this kind of question can be asked in any kind of certification, so I'm just giving this information. One is full stack web IDE. That is available here on the SAP Cloud platform. And the second one is any local web IDE. Okay, I'll put it here. So basically, when I'm talking about the local web IDE, developer can log into his own system, and he can with his own system only, he can with the help of whatever local web IDE available, he can do and develop his application. And this full stack web IDE is SAP Cloud. Basically, for that user need to developer need to access to the cloud system, and there only he need to develop the application. So both the things are, both versions are available to develop the application. So with the help of this framework, I'll put it here a little down so that it will be more nice. Yeah, this will be like this. With the help of this flow, there are different tools. Developer use these kind of tools to develop the application. So this is very basics about the Fiori that I tried to explain it here. So if you have any like this kind of question, I guess used to ask in the certification, like what kind of web IDE is available, full stack and local web IDE. Also, what kind of languages are used in the UI5. Also, what is Fiori? Fiori is just a guideline, right? And what is the technology for Fiori? The technology is UI5 technology. So that kind of questions may ask in the certification. So I just put it here in this fashion. Okay, guys, I'll take a quick pause here. If you have any kind of question on that, we may we can refer some documents on the Fiori to get more understanding on the Fiori. Okay. So after basics of the Fiori, I will discuss a little more about the Fiori architecture also, because we in our yesterday session, in our last session, we discussed about the architecture for our SAP S4 HANA. Okay, so SAP S/4HANA with GUI, we discuss the architecture where we are having the presentation, application, and database layer, and how it is interlinked when user is putting any command from the GUI, how it is coming to the application layer and then to the database, and how it is supposed to get back the response. But now in SAP S/4HANA, we do have a different, altogether different, GUI, right? Presentation layer is totally different. So how that architecture is, that what we will discuss in the next screen, next session, next point. Okay, so I will go to the next topic, that is Fiori architecture. So Fiori architecture is actually available in two different ways. One is called central hub and second one is the embedded one. Okay, so first what we will do, we will try to understand the Fiori architecture with central hub. Okay, so what I will do, uh, we will we will start with the database first, so that you will it's very easy to understand. Okay, so we do have a HANA database at the down level. Okay, HANA DB. That HANA database, then we have a application layer and then presentation layer. Now here what I will do, I will put my application layer in this fashion. Okay, little different way, because we know the application layer and all the things that what we discuss here there in the our traditional database as well as HANA database. But when Fiori come in a picture, okay, our application layer, what we discussed in our last session, there will be some additional things that is needed here. Okay, we are actually reacting or acting, connecting to the database through GUI in a different fashion. But when Fiori is coming, we need to have some other things to be installed within your application layer. When we are calling it as a central hub, okay, when we are calling it as a central hub, this application layer will be bifurcated in two different portions. Okay, so what I will do, I will try to put this line here. Okay, there are two different portions. Okay, in the application itself. So the first application, the down application, that's what we discussed yesterday. This is my traditional application layer. Okay, where my all ABAP code. Okay, ABAP code, then functional modules or BAPI or all ABAP logics, these are all sitting here. Okay, this is the first application. Now this top application is the something different that we need to add it for our Fiori, that we will discuss slowly. So this application is nothing but my SAP S/4HANA, right? So what I will do, just a minute. Yeah. So this is nothing but my S4 HANA 2020. Okay, this is my application layer. Okay. In this application layer, what we do have, we have all the ABAP logic, all the ABAP codings, and everything is sitting. So the down level part, that is our traditional application layer, what we call is called it as a backend system. Okay, I'm sorry, why it is not showing me here. Okay, this is nothing but my backend system. And this new application layer, what we are talking about, this is the part of same application layer in the central hub. Okay, this is nothing but my front end. Okay, so the front end system is nothing but combination of, I'll put here like this. Okay, this is called as a gateway system. So gateway system will have a registration of OData services. Okay, I'll put it here so that we will be able to understand what are the things over there. This gateway system will be having OData services. Oh, sorry, is registration of OData services. Okay, I'll put it here separately. OData services. Then It will be having all applications. Then this Launchpad, okay, Fiori Launchpad we call it as Launchpad, okay. Then UI 5 framework, that's what we discussed, and the Fiori designer and all these things. That things actually, you know, will be there in this gateway system. And additionally, I'll put it here. There are different Fiori applications. Okay, so all the Fiori applications will be available here. I'll put it with different color. Yeah, so Fiori applications will be available there. And also to this gateway system, actually the technical name, we call it as GWFND. Okay, GW_FND. This is nothing but the technical application name for that gateway system. Okay, so don't get confused. What is that GWFND? This is the technical name. Same like for SAP S4 HANA S4 core is the name, right? For that it's a GWFND. So earlier we saw the database layer is there, and above database there is the application layer which is having all ABAP code and logic. So I will quickly just for the understanding. Okay, yeah. So earlier what we saw, there is the database layer, and on top of that there is a application layer having all the ABAP dispatcher logics work process, and that is integrated with your GUI system. This is your traditional as well as SAP S4 HANA database. But when we came to the SAP S4 HANA, when we came to the SAP S4, when we came to the Fiori, our architecture is little bit changed. We are talking about the central hub. This part is still same. Okay, so what I will do, I will put the interlinkage between this part and this part. This is still same. Okay, but this part is little different. So within the application layer, there are two portions. One is the front end system. Second one is the back end system. Backend system is nothing but our traditional application layer. This front end system is nothing but your gateway, which is having a registration of data service, all applications, launchpad, and whatever we actually call it in the Fiori. And these two things will be interlinked with each other by using RFC, remote function call. Okay, so this is how it's actually linked. So I will be putting this. We will do it later. Okay. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So this is how it has been interlinked with each other. Now on top of that, we have presentation layer. Now here in our case, if we are talking about the Fiori, my presentation layer is nothing but, what is that? Presentation layer is nothing but my mobile or tablet, or any browser, right? So this is my presentation layer. Now this presentation layer will be interlinked with your gateway system with the help of OData services. Okay, I will put in this page. Okay, so here is the OData. So now my presentation layer will be linked to the gateway system with the help of OData service. So whenever user is coming or accessing any demand, first thing it will get to the gateway system. With the, it will try to search the right application. That application will go down and will check what is the CDS view written. So CDS view will be written in between here. So I'll put CDS view also for the understanding. So what I will do, just a minute, yeah. So CDS views will be written in that fashion, which is actually written at the application layer. Okay, CDS views will be CDS views will be written at the application layer, but it drill down or push down the logics to the database to get the data back. So it has been written on the application layer only. So whenever user is coming with the help of any tablet or the browser, first it will check the OData services are activate. Okay, if OData services are activate, it will check in the gateway system whether the registration update OData services is there. If yes, it will try to get the application, and finally it goes to the our traditional presentation backend system to call, because anyway when we are calling, let's say creating the production order with the help of application, the backend there are the ABAP code and functional modules or BAP is written, right? So these functional module and BAPs are still same what we used to have earlier in our ECC and in our own earlier database, right? So to react this ABAP code and application with the database, it will get interact with the database HANA DB. Okay, and it will come back and give the information back to the presentation layer. Now if you see it here, we can see there is a OData services. So let's say I'm the user and I'm trying to access the system, or I'm trying to access one application with the help of one Launchpad. Okay, with I'm logging in. So first thing, that system is checking the OData services. So this is one of the authorization part. Okay, first authorization will be maintained, or authorization can be done here. I will put at OData level, OData service. So if these OData services are also not active, you cannot go and simply run the application. Second authorization can be here, although OData services is activated, okay, but you don't have access for that specific application. Then also you will not be able to get the access, or you will not be able to run that application. And the third thing is, although you do have a OData service activated as well as application also you do have access, but in your traditional this thing, you are not authorized to for that specific transaction code or the function module or the specific ABAP logic. Then also it will get restricted. So the three different ways that you can create the authorizations here in the Fiori architecture. So normally how it works, user will come with the application presentation layer to gateway system, then your application layer, the same way it will go to the HANA DB, get back, and finally it will come with the information. Here it will do all the calculation and these things, and finally it will go to your presentation layer. That's how at a very high level your Fiori architecture for the central hub works. I will take a quick pause to move and I'll try to explain the same way about some, for the hub deployment. This is central and about the embedded one. I just want to know if you have any kind of questions on this. So what I will do here, meanwhile, I will also make some more descriptive. I don't know where is the. Okay, so here basically, oh sorry. Here basically we do have, we do have application layer this one, and this is the second application layer. Okay, now I will put here. Okay, application layer, as well as this is also the application layer for me, but this application layer is interacted or connected with your GUI. Now it will be very easy to understand. So we do have application layer already. that is interacted with your GUI, and that will work the fashion what we discussed yesterday. But if my additional Fiori is coming, so in the Fiori, we need to have a separate application in the central hub, separate application layer. Within that application layer, we will create a 2 layers that will be interacted or connected with each other with the help of RFC. Okay. And this application layer, whatever we have created, that will get connected to the presentation layer, Fiori presentation layer, with the help of OData services. Here, my application layer directly connected, GUI will be directly connected to this application layer, and that will connect it to my HANA database with the help of API. That's how the overall picture of the database is. Guys, any questions on that?
Pankaj, Bhaskar
Yep.
here. One question. Like if we don't have a HANA database, and if we are using like other database like Azure or Oracle, the Fiori architecture remains same, or do we have
Fiori architecture on the top here, what we are talking, will remain same. Okay.
Okay.
Now the downline is you are just replacing the database, but you do have already one application layer on top of that, right? That application layer, you need to interact with your Fiori application with the help of RFC.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why like Fiori is not a new one. Okay. Fiori is available since very long, right? In ECC also it was available, but it was not actually used in that thing, because the smart business applications and this thing, it may need a very high data, right? Data calculations and these things. And that was not possible in our earlier ECC due to the database incapability. Nowadays it's a good one. So all the things are coming with Fiori. So this kind of architecture now you can see it see in many companies. Also there is a next one that we will discuss after this, that is embedded one. But,
okay.
Yeah. But the Fiori architecture will always remain same. Yes.
Got it.
Okay. Now this is central hub where we discuss like application layer 1, application layer 2. Application layer 2 is nothing but my traditional application layer, which is already integrated with my GUI, and that GUI is working in that fashion. Additionally, if Fiori is coming, we can have a separate gateway system here. We can interact with RFC, and this is called as a central hub. Now, what is the difference between central hub and my embedded gateway? So what I will do, I will go to the next screen. I'll try to copy because most of the things are same. Oh, sorry. Most of the things are same there. So I will copy this thing as it is. Okay. And I will put it here. So what is the difference in this? In this layer will not be available. If I'm talking about embedded, this layer will not be available. Then what about this thing? I no need to have RFC. I no need to have a separate partition here, but gateway should be there, right? Now what will happen with this gateway? So in that case, what will happen? There are some add-ons, right? So what we discussed, this GWFND is the technical application, right? Gateway system. So we will purchase this gateway system as an add-on, okay? And create our separate gateway system. Again, this gateway will be having all applications and everything. So remaining part will still remain same. Only what we did here, instead of purchasing a separate layer of my, what we did, I'll put it here as an add-on. There are various add-on components, right, with SAP. This is also one of the component that is available on an add-on basis that we can purchase it here, and we can put it directly on your own application layer. So your gateway system will be like this now, and you no need to have separate. Your gateway system will be like this. Sorry. Other things will remain same. Yeah. Our OData service and all this part will remain same as it is. Only what will happen, the extra layer what we have already created, that is not there now. Only we do have only one application layer that is already available in our traditional system. Okay. on the same application layer, we will build up our gateway system with add-on package of this GWF and DAP. Okay. Once it is there, you no need to create a separate thing. All the other things, functionalities, everything will remain same. Many companies also use this one. We will discuss in what case we actually used to have a embedded, and in what case normally company used to take the decision to go with the central hub. But the theoretically or the this thing, other part will always remain same. Only one layer will get reduced in the embedded one. This is more technical, okay, but I'm also not that much very much clear picture. But at a very high level, when we used to take a decision whether we should go with a central hub or we should go with the embedded one, we will go to the next screen and try to find out what are the different things over there that can be, taken in picture while taking a decision. Okay. So you get the clear high level at least idea, like what is the central hub architecture and what is embedded one. In embedded one, this layer will front end system is not there. There will be always only whatever backend system is available will work as a front end here. So no front end system. So basically, this is the front end system for me now. Front end system, and my database is the backend for me now here. Okay. The same application layer will be interacted with GUI as well as your Fiori presentation layer. In the central one, we do have a separate front-end system assigned to my Fiori presentation layer, and separate backend system, that is my application layer, would be assigned with my GUI. That is the major difference between central and embedded one. Okay. Now what I'll do, I will go here and we will discuss at a very high level. Okay. What is the difference between central hub and embedded one? Okay. So what I will do, okay. The first thing here, version will not be dependent on operational application. Version is not dependent. Let's discuss on this. See, basically what happened when we are working on a central system, okay, our operational application layer is nothing but my S/4HANA, let's say 2020. Okay, so the gateway system version, that's what we are using here, is not depend on what SAP S/4HANA you are using here, because these are the totally two different systems. Okay, although it's sitting in the one application layer box, but physically these are the two different application layer which are connected with each other with the help of RFC. Hence, let's say I'm using 1909, okay, as of now, and this is the gateway system available, and the gateway system version is something, let's say old one. Now I switched from SAP 1909 to 2020. Still, we no need to upgrade my gateway system version here in the central hub. So my gateway system version is not dependent on the version what I'm using here. We no need to do any changes in the gateway system, or we no need to upgrade the version of the gateway system when we upgrade the version of my database and my this application layer, that is operational application layer. But here with the embedded one, we do have version dependency. Since we are using only one version here, if you go here, we are using only one application layer. There is no direct connection. So when I'm upgrading from 1909 to 2020, I also need to go and upgrade the version of gateway system. This is the main difference between central and embedded. Okay. Now we will talk about the second one. I'll put here. Okay. It's called non-disruptive scenario. Okay. And here we will discuss it. Here we need to touch and install on current application layer. The same thing what we discuss. Anything that we are doing with anything we are doing it here will not impact to my application layer. So it will not disturb your own application, whatever you are working here, working with this. But in the hub one, in the embedded one, anything that you are doing the changes at a gateway system, that will impact it here directly, because we are using the same application layer. So we call it as we need to go and install it on the current application layer. Whatever changes you are doing here, you need to go and touch the system. You need to reconfigure the system, whatever the necessary things that we need to do it here. So this is one of the thing. Then we can connect to multiple backend system with single gateway. Okay, but here each backend system will be having its own gateway. So in the central hub, we can connect the multiple backend systems. Okay, I'll again go back here. Since we do have this separately standing, we can have a multiple backend system that we can connect. But in case of hub one, embedded one, we don't have that kind of facility available. So each gateway top one gateway system will have only one application layer or only one backend system. So we don't here, in case our backend system is the Hana database, basically, correct? This is the front end system and this is the backend system. So we are connecting directly to the same backend. So if I want to have a separate gateway system or the separate this thing, we may need to have a separate Hana DB, or we need to have a separate application layer altogether for that separate one. But here we can have a one backend system, one front end system, and the same with the same gateway system, I can again go and access to the separate backend system also. That means we can have that kind of structure also. This can be with this other thing, and again with some different database. That is possible in this thing. And the main one more thing here is this is more complicated. Okay, more complicated for development. Okay, I put it here. Okay, this is more complicated for the development and authorization. Point. This is little less complicated, we can say. Why? Because we do have only one application layer. Here we do have different application layer, different data services, right? So I will put it here as a little less complicated. And one more thing, this is not sure, but somewhere we were working on the embedded gateway earlier, and there are some performance issues. So when we raise it to SAP, SAP recommend us to go ahead with central one, okay, central hub, and then we might improve the system performance. But this is not a sure like whether this is the right thing to say better performance. Okay, and here also is a good performance, is not but that's what our personal experience, we can say this was a good performance. We cannot actually bifurcate this thing with the performance thing, but this is what at a very high level difference between embedded and central hub deployment for the Fiori. And these are the different points which actually at a very high level will be considered when we are deploying it to the deploying the solution to any company or any implementation. Okay, guys. So we will move ahead for now in the Fiori, and we will start discussion little bit more about the business groups and business catalogs. But before going ahead, I just want to know if you have any kind of question on the Fiori architecture. Meanwhile, I'll try to log into the system. You can unmute and you can ask the question.
Hi Pankaj, I have a doubt
Yes.
on that screen where you were having all those
This
database
one?
tables, and before the Fiori,
Okay.
there was a screen with
Okay.
the database table.
Here,
The one
yeah.
which, yeah. So that principle of one and throughput increase, under that, those points I didn't understand clearly.
Which one?
Only one valuation method instead of two.
Okay. Only one valuation method ledger. Material ledger instead of two. So that was the question I guess you only ask in our basic thing, right? So in
Okay.
SAP S4HANA it came with material ledger. So there are in earlier ECC there was only one valuation method, right? So in SAP S4HANA it came with material ledger activation, right? So this is not a, this is a kind of simplification basically. This is a financial simplification. When we came with SAP S4HANA, we came with material ledger activation. And what is the usage of that material ledger activation? Anil or somebody was answered on that, right? With the material ledger activation, we will be able to do the valuation with two different currencies. So this is regarding to that, I guess.
I think it was Venkat.
Yeah, it was Venkat. I don't remember. I don't know. I mean, yeah. So these are the SAP S4HANA simple finance. Okay, when SAP came up with finance simplifications, and then finally it came up with the logistics simplification. So in the finance simplification, they came up with the material ledger activations in SAP S4HANA, where we do have two level up valuations. Okay.
Okay.
Now what we will do, I will go to the SAP Fiori, okay, and we will try to see some basics of the Fiori. Then we will try to understand the difference between business groups and the business catalogs, okay. And then once you will be able to understand the difference between business groups and business catalog, then you will be easily understand the difference, how actually the user business role authorization works, okay. And then we will try to check the standard business approach whenever we are accessing assigning any role, standard business role to any user, how applications are coming and able to access, user can able to access, but it's somehow getting all the applications within that role. Then what is the role of the basis consultant, what is the role of the security consultant, and what is the basic role of the functional consultant when we are doing that authorization matrix, that we will discuss. But before going ahead, we need to understand the very basic things about the Fiori. So what I will do here, I will log into the remote desktop, okay, and we will try to log into SAP Fiori. Okay, to log in SAP Fiori, we can log in from SAP GUI also, okay. where we have one transaction code. Just a minute, let me log in. Okay. So UI2/FLP, this is the transaction code. You can put it here, this transaction code here, or double click this one. I just put it in the favorites. So it will go open. So what I'll do, I'll copy this link and I'll try to log in with the help of Chrome, which I feel is a very good performance on the Chrome basically. So what I will do, I'll copy the link and I'm going to the Chrome. I'm putting this link here. Okay. Yes. Here you can give the user ID. So basically when you are logging to the SAP, the first screen which you are able to see it here is nothing but your Launchpad. Okay. So it is little slow. Let me see. Yeah, it's slow. Yeah. So this is the Launchpad. Okay, where you can see all the applications. These tiles, these tabs, but you can see it here, is called as a business group or the group, and these are the tiles or the Fiori applications. Now I can see it here, the different Fiori application, the tab wise that I will show it in the system. I mean here only with some different things, but at a very high level, what I will do first, I will change the settings so that, just a minute, show all content. Okay. Now you can see it here. See, there are different business groups and each business group will have a different application. Like this is a query browser here. If I go to the production planning and execution, I can see manage plan orders, convert plan orders, monitor production orders. So these are the different applications available. So this is called business group and this is called my tiles. Now there is one more function, this thing that is called catalog. So business group is also the group of applications. Okay, if I'm saying this is the business group, this is the group of applications. Okay, and there is one more functionality that is called as a catalog. So catalog is also always a group of application, and we always get confused between the business group and business catalog. Okay, so to make you more understanding and clear understanding, what I will do, I will try to first show it to you here only. Okay, so that you will understand easily. Let's say I will put this thing here. Okay, this is my catalog. Okay, this is my, I'll put here CAT. Okay, this is my catalog. In this catalog, we do have different applications. Okay, I'll put here app 1, app 2. Okay, app 1, then app 2, then app 3, app 4, app 5, and so on. There are so many applications in the catalog. If I'm going to the let's say production planner catalog, I do have different applications available. Okay, I'll put at a very high level here so that I'll be able to explain you 4, 5. So what I will do, okay, so business catalog 7. So the business catalog is the list of application that user has an authorization. Let's say I'm the user, so I'm having authorization of all these 7 applications. This is my business catalog. Okay, now I'll put little bit here so that, okay. Now what happened? But on a daily use, I'm not actually accessing all these application. On daily use, there are n number of application, or let's say there are 20 applications which is assigned to the business catalog. But on day-to-day basis, I do have accessing only 2 to 4 applications, right? I'll put it here. On day-to-day basis, actually, user needs only these applications. So what happens whenever the user is accessing, the system or the Fiori application, we should not make a slow, clumsy his dashboard, like so many applications are sitting here and he will get always confused. In the real practice scenario, also in any production planner, he might have access for any limited applications, but maybe in the month end he used to access different kind of reports and these things. But he is not actually using this application on day-to-day basis. So what happened in that case? We can create one business group. Okay, I'll put it here as a business group 1. Business group is nothing but again the list of applications that user can see on every day on a launchpad. Okay, although user is having access of all that application, but on the launchpad, whenever he will go and access this, he will only able to, now I'm having the access of so many business rules, right? That is why I can see so many applications here, right? But if the production planner is there, he might have having access of so many applications, but on a day-to-day life he is using only these 3. So whenever he will go and log into his system, he will only able to see these 3 applications available, although he is having access of all this. Okay, so these applications, this kind of thing is nothing but my business group. Now what happened with the help of this business catalog and business group? What we used to do, we used to create a business role. Okay, in the business role, we will go in the system and we will try to create this thing, although this is the thing that basis consultant or the Fiori consultant has to do, or the security consultant has to do. But I have seen in many companies or in my last implementation also, we used to do these things because people are not very much matured on the Fiori that time, and we used to create these business roles also. Okay, so with the help of this catalog and the business group, the business role will be get created, and then this business role will be assigned to user. This business role will be assigned to the user. So when this user role will be assigned to user will be able to see that kind of business group. So there might be multiple business groups. Okay, like if you take an example of the same, we might have different applications available in the catalog, and user is saying, hey, although I'm having so many applications, I no need to see all the applications under only one business group. I need to bifurcate these applications in different business group, like demand creation, different applications, reports, different applications, or this kind of different applications. User can create the business group, although if he's not authorized as a functional consultant, we can also create the separate business group for the user. And then it will be like when user will go and log into the system, it will show in that fashion. Okay, his launchpad will be like this. So I'll put it, let's say we do have created 2 business group for him. Okay, it will like this. Then his launchpad will like this. First it will say business group 1. Okay, I'll put here BG1, then BG2, BG3, correct, different business group. And that is what now you can see at my login the same way. And here you can see, let's say now as of now in BG1 we have 4 applications, right? So it will show all 4 applications here. Sorry, I put it in this fashion. Maybe in BG2 we do have only 2 applications. Oh, sorry, 2 applications. Let's say this is under BG2, and let's say this is under BG3. In that fashion. So if you can see it here at my login ID, sorry, I'm going back to here. Yeah, these are the different business groups, right? I'm going to the home back. Yeah, these are the different business group, and each business group has a different applications, right? So I do have access for all, but what we will do, we will try to create a couple of business group and we will try to see how it works or how it look like in external procurement or in the production planning. It's little slow, I don't know why. Yeah, in the production planning, if I'm going, I can see these are the applications, different applications. Now here to have a better performance, okay, so this is the home area and this is the me area actually that we need to configure, but I don't know what happened to this system. It's a little slow. Just give me a minute. We'll check it. It's a little slow. Okay, guys. Meanwhile, you have if you have any doubts on the catalog, business group, and the user access, you can
Can we see the catalog from that browser
Yes.
also, or
Sure.
we will
Yes.
see only
Yes.
the groups?
We will see it in the browser. In the system you want to see, right?
Yeah, the catalog.
Yeah. I am trying to show it, but it's little slow. So meanwhile, what I'll do, I'll put it here so that you'll understand. List of applications user has authorization. Correct. This is nothing but my catalog. And list of application, no, sorry, list of application that user can see on Launchpad. Business group. This is business group, and finally it will show like this. So we are going to the system back, okay? And now this is the home, okay? And this is the when let's say I'm in some other application, if you click it at this page, it will come back to your home page. That is nothing but your navigate to home. So this is the me area, okay? This is the TRNR05 is my ID. And if you go here, there are different things that we will see one by one. So before that, you were asking like you want to see all the business groups, okay? See here, if you go to this tab, you can see all the business group for me. That is what assigned to me. And each business group, if I'll click it here, I can see, okay, in this business group, these are the applications. Okay. Now I want to see the catalogs. If you go it here, okay, home page, okay, my home page, see here, you can see the different catalogs. In each catalog, whatever the different applications are available. Just a minute, guys. See here. So in the query browser, there is only one, but if you go here in the production application, these are the different applications, right? This is this is the demand driven replenishment. These are the different applications available. Here, if you go to the app finder, okay, I'm going to the app finder. And this is the all catalog. You can see it here. These are the all catalog, right? There are so many applications available, but I can see only respective applications on the Fiori Launchpad. Why? Because this is the tab. See here, query browser. If you see it here, this is assigned to one group. This is my total apps, is nothing but my catalog. Okay. And these are the different applications are assigned to the different business group. Now let's say, take an example. This is the application which is not assigned to any business group. Okay. If you click it here, it will say which business group you want to assign. I'm saying assign it to my home page. Close it. Okay. Now, if you go to the home page from here, you can see it here, my home, and now this application is available here. Let's say I'll try to assign some, application which is very common for us. So I'm going to the capacity planning. Okay, these are the applications. Okay, I want to assign it to my home page, let's say. So what I will do, I will go here sorry, I will go me area. Here is the app finder, and I can simply type here also, and I can get that application directly also. Let's say I want to assign the application for demand management. Okay, upload demand, right? So it's manage PIR is the application. Let's see. Oh, manage is not there. Should come here. Just a minute. It should be. Put it here. PIR. See here. These are the different applications. So change PIR, display PIR, schedule PIR, right? This is the maintain PIR, right? So I want to assign this maintain PIR. It's already assigned to one business group. I want to assign it to my home as well. Okay, so it is assigned to demand forecasting business group as well as my home. Now let's close it and go back here. Now we can see here maintain PIR application is available here. Correct. Also it is available in this business group, maintain PIR. So see here, this application, same application is available here as well as here, right? So to have a better performance, okay, this is the setting where what you need to do, you need to select the better whatever the appearance, the colors, what you can see in the backend color, and this thing here is the language setting, which English language and day format and time format. Here is the user activities. So this will help us whatever the transaction you have been used, that may record in the backend. And when you are going to the this thing, let me show you recent activities. It will show you whatever the recent activities you have done. So recently what we done this application job maintain PR applications and these things, that is captured here. So in the settings that you can activate this, okay, user activities, track my recent user activities. Okay, and here is the user profile setting. This is the personalized search. So when this is actually SAP is working on this part. Basically what happened whenever you are accessing anything, okay, so let's say if you are trying to do the next application or next transaction, system will try to propose you based on that. Let's say you are working on finish material confirmation, so it will always use to populate the finish material number automatically there. So that kind of personalized search is there. Still SAP is working on that. This is not that much useful as of now, but I'm trying to show you. Here is the home page. In the home page display, I'm saying show all contents. That's the reason all the applications I can see it here. If I can click it here, show one group at a time and save it, then it will look like this. So if you are setting this kind of thing, so my home, these two application here, these three different application on query browser. This is so at one time you can see the applications which is available in one group. So this is the most recommendable setting actually. Even basis consultant or the Fiori, security consultant used to set this kind of setting for the user, okay, to have a better performance, okay, Fiori performance. Then there is one more thing. This is the home edit page. Now this is very important that we always used to do. So I will just check something is remaining. Yeah, there is one more thing, that is default value. If you are working with some specific country code or some specific company code, you can put your company code there, so that whenever you will be accessing the Fiori and you will be accessing an app, so instead of going to the different company code and get and pull the data, system will try to pull the data specific to your company code, and that will definitely improve the performance of the Fiori. Okay, so there are different ways or different filter that you can put it here. And the main important thing is the edit homepage. Many times this access will not be given to the user, okay, but this is the facility available for the user, that user can set this launchpad with his test, or maybe with his requirement, or this my home or something is there, right? He can create his own business group, and he can able to assign the different applications in that. So instead of my home, he can give some different name also. Like I will try to show you here. If I go to the edit home page, okay, You can see and you can easily understand. See here, this is the my home page. Okay, and from here user can easily delete his application, whatever applications are set up there, right? So now he can, or he can simply click on plus and he can add. When he click on the plus, it will go to the Fiori library and he will say which application he want to add it. He can simply go and add the related application. So this is the very easiest way for user to design his launchpad by his own taste. First thing. Second thing is, if user want to create his own group, user can create his own group also. Just say he can simply go to the add group. Okay, and yeah, it will say what is the group name. So what I will say, okay, the group name is Z. Okay, I'm just putting what is the application I want. I want to add here, let's say capacity planning, capacity monitoring, correct? As is there anything I want to add, I can simply go here and I can add this one. Okay, see, these things has been added. Oh, this has been added to my home, I guess. Okay, just a minute. I'll go back. It is added in the my home, right? So here it's very easy. You can drag and drop also here. Okay, like this also you can do it. It's very simple. The training, monitor capacity. I'll drag it and put it here. Okay, I want to add it here. That is also possible, correct? And save it or close it. I will go back to the home page and let's see how it looks. See, here is the Z training what we created, and these are the different application. Also, there is one thing, normally these kind of things are not allowed to do the user in the same one. Okay, in the edit home page, user can change the name of the application also, because let's say maintain PIR. Maintain PIR is the very technical or is a SAP specific name, but maybe in the user side, what they call it as the upload forecast. They might calling it as, okay. So user can simply go here, okay, and edit title information. So here you can see here, it's a maintain PIR. Or he can put here subtitle here also, like this, upload demand forecast, like this. Let's see. See here, maintain PIR, upload demand forecast. Now we can see it here. So that kind of facility is available here in the edit mode. This is actually many times when first time we are accessing the Fiori, and we will be not able to get this kind of information on time, and we are always hanging out with a basis consultant or Fiori consultant. We can do it very easily by your own. Okay. Yeah, Anil.
Hi, Pankaj.
Yeah, Anil. Yeah.
I see a couple of different options on your screen that I don't get at the client system.
Correct.
Is there any settings for even setting up this Fiori here?
Yes.
Because if you click that SAP icon, you are getting all the details of every other tab. For example, just click there.
Yeah, this is the SAP. SAP is the navigation. I'm coming back to the home screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And
this thing?
No, not the things. Actually, on SAP, when you click, you have trainer option there, and under that option, it is showing all the tabs, and every tab will show the apps available on that window.
This one?
Yeah,
this
yes.
one you are saying?
No, not this one. The top SAP icon. Yeah, click there.
Yeah, this is the navigation to home page. So we are coming back to my home page. This is my home page.
No. I saw earlier you have all these different groups listed there.
So this is the home. Here you must have seen this one.
Yeah, I think this one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is this one.
We are not getting that option. That's what I'm
it should be there. This is the home page. Okay, so you can check it. So maybe if you have assigned to all the catalogs, whatever catalogs has been assigned to your ID, and that will be through a catalog plus business group, right? So if you go to the home page, you can see all the catalogs here. Okay, sorry, business group here. So this is my home and this is the business group what we just created, correct? And in that business group, we have just added this capacity and this kind of tabs. So this will be always available for you in your.
Do you have any versions for this again?
Yeah. So
my version has got these icons located in different positions. So I'm not sure whether it is
that is very true. So normally, our Fiori cloud version is upgrading quarterly. Okay. And on premises, it is something our SAP S/4HANA is 2020 now. Earlier it was 1909, right? And in between there are different feature stacks. So whatever Fiori applications and additional features are coming, that will be with the Fiori that feature stacks. Okay. And we used to upgrade, in our current on premises also. So that is very true. Every year all Fiori applications will get upgraded quarterly, right? And there will be the different functionalities coming. So earlier in 1909, what we saw there are some additional functionalities are coming here in 2020. So basically, that's what SAP is doing. SAP is continuously working on the Fiori, things and coming up with the new things. But overall, if you are saying for the look wise and this me tab and this thing, there are not that many changes, but there are major changes inside the applications. Like if you now the next topic is the Fiori library. I'll try to explain. There you can see the maintain PIR application earlier was little bit different. Now SAP has been absolute that application create PIR, and he has created some new application on top of that. So if you are working on an older version, that old application will be available. But if you are working on a newer version, that new application will be available. Old application or data services and UI5 will not be there. So you will not be able to access it. So that kind of things are there in the application.
And also you said if we have a coupled situation where the application server and Fiori server is installed together, then we will have version dependency also, right? Where it is not central system we are talking about.
That so version dependency, that version dependency what we talk is your gateway system version dependency with your S/4HANA package or your application server. Since this gateway system and this are sitting on the same application, but in case of central, these are the two different systems. So there is no version dependency. You can work on the old one and this will be a new one.
Okay.
So that is the reason.
Always it is depending on some version.
Correct. That's right.
Okay, one more question, Pankaj, before we go on to the next topic. Go back to Fiori screens.
Okay. Yes.
So here we have all the groups assigned as per your user role assignment, right? Your user role is assigned with different roles and groups, and as per those groupings, you are getting all these tabs.
Correct.
And we can also create our own tab that you have showed just earlier. Also, I'm okay with that.
Correct.
And these assigned roles, can we remove those groups, assigned groups, and then add whenever we need it?
Yes.
At the user level.
So basically, what happened? Okay. Whenever that is actually the end-to-end life cycle that we are supposed to discuss in the next screen. So anyway, I'll just give you a very high level information. So whenever the user roles are created, okay, so the user roles will have this information. Just a minute. Yes, business group plus catalog. Catalog will be the backend, business group will be the front end, and the below applications will be there behind the in front of the user. Now, I want to create some new business group. Yeah, definitely you can create, and whatever application sitting in the catalog, you can add it there. But you want to delete the business group. Definitely you can do it. Okay, but in real practice, that kind of authorization will not be given to the user. Okay, so I will go here. Edit homepage. I'm not sure whether I'm also having that access, but let's see here. Okay, so this is the group, and
because we have just created at the user level, that we can delete definitely. Yes, you will get it.
Now just a minute. is little slow. But these kind of things will be always, locked with the user, so that let's say this is the group, right? Now here is the reset option is available only. Okay. And sorry, I will again
Yeah,
go
reset will
back.
bring all
Okay,
the
we will try
apps
to do.
in that group, right?
Correct. So what we can do, we can remove that app. That is simple. When you are removing the app, it doesn't mean you are removing the authorization,
Yes, of
right?
course. Yeah.
So you are just removing the app so that it will be go and sit it in your catalog always, and whenever you need it, you can pull it up.
We
But
can go back
whenever
and
the yes, but the whenever business groups has been designed, that has been designed by the basic security consultant, and that consultant will make sure like what kind of things should be appear in front of the user, and user should not go and again delete it. Okay, so that kind of can be controlled by the authorization, but this is very easy that you can anytime go and delete the business group.
yeah,
Here
yeah.
I can see only
We can
reset option
delete,
here.
add, and all that, but groups we cannot delete. That's the problem.
Correct, we cannot delete because this is created by the security consultant through designer launchpad, not from here.
Yep.
Okay. So in our next session, maybe I'll try to explain very detailed end to end as a functional consultant where we are sitting, and if that kind of different applications are there, how we can go and explore the application, how we can get this application, what information that we need to provide to the either basis consultant or the security consultant, and how the basis or security consultant will redesign the new group, because these are the standard group. Okay, and for this standard group, if he is assigning the role what is inside it to the user, so many applications are coming here. Correct. So this is not the right way. Let's say there is a production planner, and here, as per the production planner, there are 10 applications available. But my production planner should have only one application authorization, should have only one application authorization that he can go and upload the demand. And he can further go and check the MD04, nothing more than that. And I do have different production planner who is supposed to create the plan order and production order. I want to bifurcate these things. Now, if we will assign, if we will assign the business role, which is there for the business catalog and business group having production planner details, all application will come and sit it here, right? And this is not needed. This is not the my requirement. We can say a business user can simply go and delete this application, but the authorization will still remain for him. He can anytime go and create the production order, right? So to do this, how actually that authorization will get control, we will discuss in our next session. This is nothing but our Fiori end-to-end life cycle. Once you are, you will be able to understand this Fiori standard approach and Fiori end-to-end life cycle. You will be get very clear picture how different applications will be assigned to the different user. Although there is a standard business group, standard catalog, and standard, uh, business groups and these things available, how we can bifurcate and give it to the different user. But for that we need to understand first how we need to explore different application, how we need to get it. That we will discuss in end-to-end life cycle. Okay, so it's already we are out of time, so what I'll do with this explanation, we will stop here, and in our next session we will do continue with Fiori SAP standard approach for the authorization. That's what we just saw here. What is standard approach of SAP? How all applications are coming under one user, and then we will discuss how Fiori end-to-end life cycle in real implementation work, how it has been get bifurcated. This is again a very basic, but here actually the functional consultant role comes in. Okay, so that is why we will discuss in very detail about that, and then slowly we will start our end-to-end scenario with all Fiori application. We will try to create different business group for business, different business scenarios, so that it will be more understanding for all you guys, right? So instead of looking into this kind of groups, we will create our own business group with own sequence of application, and we will go ahead.
You are
Yeah,
mentioning designer launchpad used by security. So what is this launchpad called?
this is the Fiori Launchpad. Okay, and this Fiori Launchpad will be designed for the user by the security consultant based on the authorization matrix. So this is the major role where functional consultant will sit in. Like, let's say, take an example. I'm implementing SAP production planning for one of the company, and there are so many applications. And as Anil said, like there are so many applications coming in every, every quarter. Now, what are the right applications that need to give it to the business user? Nobody knows, right? So how we will go and explore this application? Once we will come to know, okay, this maintain PIR application is very good instead of create PIR. Now I want to give it to the user. Then first what we need to do, how we need to get all the information, and then how basis consultant will work or the security consultant will work on that to get this application in front of the user role. That we will discuss. That time you will come to know how this launchpad will get designed.
Oh, okay. How do we have option to see any new apps if SAP is bringing any
Yes,
new
yes,
features?
everything is there. That
Oh,
all the application, all the information will be available in a single holy book. Okay, that is always available in front of you. You can also go and access it. This is the Fiori library. Okay, this is the Fiori library. This is the only one single source of information available for all the new incoming applications. Meanwhile, you can go and explore these things, okay, in before our next week session. Okay, this is the Fiori library. Here are the all apps for the SAP S/4HANA, all Fiori apps for the SAP S/4HANA. So you can go to the all apps with by line of business. Okay, in the line of business, you have manufacturing, marketing, sales, and this thing. As of now, 346 applications are available. Now, if you go here, see here, all the applications are there. Now, you can select any one of the application. Let's say one of the application PMRP list. Okay, so this is the information, and this is SAP S/4HANA. You can check it here first on cloud or your embedded one. So I'm going with embedded one, and here is the implementation information. And here you can see whether this application is available on 2020 version or 20 on any world. So this is a very new application that is available only in 2020. Okay, we will go some of the other application convert plan orders. Okay, and now you can see it here. This application is available for 1909, then feature stack 1909 first, then second, and now here also. Okay, I'm sorry. So when you are actually exploring the things, you need to first see what is the version you are working on. Okay, based on that, you need to come to the Fiori library and start exploring your application. What are the different applications available and all the information for that. Okay, so this is the configuration information, UEFI application, then installation, important notes for that, correct? Then these are the catalogs, and this is the business role for that. Okay, now what happened, you can get multiple applications in the production planning. Now you need to pass on this information to the security consultant. You need to get the access for all that. So for that, how we will do end-to-end life cycle, that I will explain you in the next session. But meanwhile, you can explore this Fiori application library. Okay, I'll put it in the session notes so that, or you can just Google it. You will get all the information available here. Now the first main important thing is you need to understand on which version you are working, whether it's a 1909 or whether it's a 2020. That information you will get from SAP. So this is now this has been mentioned here, but this is not the way to get the information. You can simply go to system status. Okay, and here is the product version details. So if you click here, you will see here, just a minute, version details. So you can see here S4 core. So S4 core is the technical component name for the SAP S/4HANA, right? So S4 core is 105, correct? So what is that 105? 105 is 2020. So it is like this. Just I will go back to this thing. I'll try to put it here so that you will understand. Okay. So it was saying 105, right? 105 104, 103, 102, and 100. So this is 2020. This is 1909. This is 1809. This is 1709, 532, 1 and 100, right? Yeah. This is 1610 and this is 1511. So you can simply go to your current existing system, go to the this status. You can find out the production version, product version details for S per core is 105. That means 2020. Now you know on which version you are working. Now you need to find out the application. Then you can go to the Fiori library and you can get the information with your respective, version. All the detailed information you can get it here, and you can pass it to the basis consultant, and you can get it access. But in end-to-end life cycle, I'll try to explain you how you can get and download all the information in our next session. Okay.
Thank you, Pankaj.
So whatever new applications are coming, you will get all the information in Fiori library only. Okay, you know it. As of now, it's free, and you no need to have yes user ID for that. But maybe in future it can be restricted for the yes user ID. But this information is totally free available now. Okay. So yeah.
Can you provide us any list showing the users and their recommended apps or groups? Of course, groups if you have catalogs and
yeah, I got it. I got your question. So basically, is in our earlier implementation, we used to call it as a user role matrix. Okay, like in production, these are the 5 users. These are related to different functionalities based on the business process. This for transaction code, this person has to have authorization. Remaining this has to have authorization in that fashion, right? So in our earlier implementation, we used to create the role matrix based on the business. Now there is a role matrix. Okay, that is what we need to prepare. But now there is the role, the role matrix. Overall, the document is now little bit vast. Here, we need to understand the Fiori applications, and we need to provide the different information to different consultant, basis and security. These will come in a picture. So as of now, in our old implementation, I could get that information from the old client, but this is altogether same as your old role matrix creation. So there is not that much different that I can share it you separately, right? Because in the production planner or production cockpit, you will find out, okay, these are the multiple applications, same like your transaction codes, but there are some additional application, analytical application, like in MD61 only. Okay, this is a very beautiful application that I can explain you here. I can create the demand for one material at a time, but I need to go inside and I need to put the material name and quantity, correct? But now SAP came up with a very beautiful application that is what we were seeing here. Okay, I'm sorry. That is maintain PIR, correct? This one.
Yeah.
With this application, we can upload the demand directly from the Excel sheet. Now here, you need to put these things, or you need to do copy paste, correct?
Yeah.
But if you are uploading the demand for 1000 materials, okay, with this plant and this week with the different, you can just prepare an Excel, just create an Excel and just upload it. All demand will get automatically uploaded. So this kind of feature. So earlier, I still remember in one of my project, we created one utility program or enhancement, okay, to upload the demand in the system, because that time that application was not available. Now this kind of things are coming additionally in SAP S/4HANA, that is available, I guess, from 1909 or 1809. This feature in this application.
How are you getting updated with that? Like, so when SAP
that we will see, we have a end-to-end session, no end-to-end scenario we are supposed to run, right?
No.
That time,
how a consultant get that notification? Like, okay, this app has come and like this is
No,
having
no,
this
no. Okay, okay,
feature.
okay, okay, okay. And that's why I ask you to go ahead with this Fiori library. So
Or
wherever
that.
you found the star, see here,
Mhm.
it's saying this application was already there, but enhanced in SAP S/4HANA 2021 quarter one. This is the enhanced one. This is the enhanced one. These are the old one. This is not enhanced. That means that application will be available since maybe 1909 and earlier. Okay, and that is coming as it is. So it's your experience when you are saying, okay, you did an implementation with 1909, 1709. 1909, that application was available. In 2020 also that application is available, but there is no such a difference, correct? But wherever you can see the star, that means these are the new enhancement coming. See here, new SAP S4 HANA 2021 quarter one enhanced. Now, what is the enhancement that you need to go inside? Okay, you need to read the document. You need to explore this application in the system on the sandbox. You need to try to understand it. And then when you came to know, okay, this is useful for the user. This is useful for the user. That user is actually looking for this thing. Earlier it was not there. Now that is possible. Then you need to give the access, or you need to work with basis consultant to create a separate business rule, assign it to users, and train the user. That's how it works. It's not a simple notification on WhatsApp you're getting, okay, this many applications has been installed or enhanced. But this is how you can easily get the information. See, so many applications in 2020.
Understood. Thank you.
Pankaj, is it also possible to make the difference between PPDS applications and the normal version of production planning? Because like,
PPDS applications, yeah. See,
yeah,
PPDS
because,
altogether they have separate applications, okay, and that may not be available here on your system, okay, because although PPDS is the embedded one, we need to have a
yeah,
separate license for that.
exactly. So is it like in Fiori library, it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
You will
that, or
get it
it's a
here.
separate?
No, no, no need, I guess. This Fury, let me check.
So like if I'm using 1809 system and we don't have PPDS embedded as well, so we don't
Mm-hmm.
license, but is it possible that I can search here and like
Yeah,
this?
yeah, you can search it. You can search it because this is the only one. This is not only for the 2020 or production planning or
Like
something else.
example, this second one, production scheduling board, I
Yes,
believe this is for PPDS, right?
yes. That's what I just checked it here. Okay. Yeah.
But how I should make a difference? Like how should I know that this is for PPDS?
Okay. For that, you need to understand first the PPDS scenario. Like there was a MD61, but we know this is MD61 or upload PR is to upload the demand, right? Any new person is coming and searching is he will never know what is that, right? The same way,
Mm,
this production scheduling board is there. Okay, if you used to work with this application in PPDS, you have a well trained on that. You will know, okay, this is the application for PPDS, right?
okay.
Yeah, because it's altogether all application. Okay, if any user is try to exploring it, he will get confused definitely. But as a
Yeah.
consultant, you know which application is used for what, right?
Mm,
So
okay.
and also there are some information available. In that information, you might have some screenshots also they are giving. Okay, this
Yeah,
is
that's correct. But even though nowadays
very,
consultants are also not
so
mature
you
enough.
will be able to understand. So this is the key features. This is the very yeah, that's what now it's a new one. But the product features, if you try to read it carefully, it will give very clear information. What is this application is for? What this application is used for what purpose? And then simply even first time when I was exploring MD61, I was not able to get the right information. I was trying to run the scenario and I was trying to upload the demand. It was not working fine because it's same like what we did earlier when we started new in SAP ECC, right? When we are going to MD04, still in MD04, there are different functionality. Many consultants also don't know because they never explored it. The same way here in application also we need to do the things.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so we will stop here today. Okay, and we will do continue our session in next week's Saturday onwards without any break. Sorry for that. I was having some personal work in last couple of weeks, so I was not able to join on Saturday. But today onwards or next week onwards, we will try to continue it and we'll try to cover all. Now the good thing is, like here, when we are running any of our scenarios in our next incoming sessions, we are not going to waste more time on the slide. We are not going to discuss how end-to-end PP working, MD61, then MRP, because this part is already done, right? So in advance, what we will do, we will just open this PPT and try to run this with different applications. And I'll try to put the different applications name, okay, so that when you will be, exploring yourself or you will be running your own cycles, you will be easily get find that application. But that is very easy once you start working on the Fiori. This is very easy to get any application because this is the search criteria, okay, that actually I was supposed to explain you, but I don't know, I forgot it. Just I will give it here. Okay, I'll show it you here. This, even you no need to put these applications in the sequence or this thing, right? You can simply go and do search whatever you want. Okay, this is little slow, I guess. I don't know why. Yeah. So here you can say in the apps and you want to search something. Okay, so let's say PIR only. Okay, if you are putting just the PIR, it will show you all the application down the line and can easily find out the application. Sometimes you can put the transaction code also, your old ECC transaction. From that also you will be able to find out the application. But anyway, I'll try to put the application names also there. Yeah, see here, you get the PIR application that way. Or any other application you want to, I want to check the capacity related application. I'm just putting capacity and it will show me the sequence of capacities here. Just a minute.
Actually, on the screen, if you use the browser search, it will work much faster.
Yeah, that's I haven't checked, but yeah. But here you see here, change capacity, create capacity, display capacity, monitor capacity. So that kind of things you can easily get it, and you can simply go there and you can access this one. Okay. Anyway, these are the things that you will get, more hands-on once you do the more exposure once you do the hands-on and start using this one, right? Sometimes when we are using Fiori applications, we used to work on the SAP. Okay, we used to work on that different icon, create, change, display, right? And in the Fiori application, it's saying it's a change name. It's a description will be the display. So sometimes we will not get the right thing on right place. But that is very easy for the user. User will not be able to understand the different icon like this. Specs icon is called display, right? So user will always get confused with this. Now, Fiori application is very easy to understand for the user, not for the consultant. Okay. Anyway, we will discuss in check in our incoming sessions.